Mm. Greetings, beloveds. Beloveds, when you make a promise to yourself or to another, understand that there is an energetic equivalent for the keeping of such a promise that is met within the spiritual realm that either brings forth light or brings forth darkness. When a promise is kept, there is celebrations, shall we say. There is an addition of light that is granted, and there is a forging between the egoic mind, human mind, and that of the realms of light, where you now become one who is dependable for the giving of one's word and the keeping of one's word. And in contrast, when a promise is made and it is not kept, understand that there is a marrying between what is the egoic mind and that of the realms of darkness, shall we say. This dance between the light and the dark is forged through the promises that you make and the promises that you keep and the promises that you break. We would like to recommend to you, beloveds, that before you give your word to a circumstance, before you give your word to an activity, before you make your proclamation of you will do this forever, you will do that forever, or this will happen or that will happen, that you look to see, for not many of you do this, beloved ones, that you look to see what would be the consequences for you in the keeping of the word and in the not keeping of the word. We would ask you to look back upon your life and notice when you have said that something would be a certain way, and there was indeed a time for you to, rather than break the promise, to make a new promise. We could talk about marriages. We could talk about jobs. You say, I will work for this company forever, and then another seemingly better offer comes along. You are in a relationship, and then you say, I will be married to this person forever, and then a seemingly better offer or opportunity comes along. Beloved, there is a way of renegotiating these promises, these vows. For understand that in the beginning was the word. This is the beginning of the New Testament. Understand, beloveds, that you are your words. You are the promises that you make, the commitments that you make. You are the vows that you make. And that is truly the measure of each of you. This is what will come into the effects of karma for you. If there is something that you cannot do, it will be presented to you time and time and time again for you to be able to master the doing of it, the being of it, the having of it. And if there is something that is a challenge for you, understand that it will again and again and again be presented to you until you have mastery of the thing and it no longer is something that calls the attention. Now, if you find that you have come to the end of a road for a promise that you have indeed made, there is time for you to renegotiate, to say, I have said that I would do this thing or be this thing forever and ever. But understand, beloveds, as Yeshua has said, what has been created within this realm will indeed die in this realm. You must look at a way of renegotiating, shall we say, so that there is not a loss or a deficit, but rather what could be considered to be a gain. Understand that all of this happens within the frequency of divine energetics. So there are no mistakes that are being made. There are no accidents that are being made. Everything that is happening in divine order. Everything that is happening is indeed happening for you, with you, through you, in support of your consciousness, in support of your Christedness, Christed beingness, if you will. But there are negotiations to be made for ways in which you beat yourself up and say, I meant to keep this promise. I said I would never eat pizza again. And here I am enjoying it. Beloveds, be careful of these eternal contracts, these billion-year contracts, these things that you say that you will do forever. How can you possibly make any promise to be anything other than what you are, which is light? So if the one promise that you can make for the rest of existence is to be as you were created, then you can do nothing but succeed. But every time that you try to squeeze or pigeonhole yourself into what society has dictated that you should be, here you will find yourself in trouble. In trouble in that the ego will engage and will come in and beat you up as nothing has ever beaten you before, within an inch of your very existence. So we would ask you to practice kindness. We would ask you to practice gentleness. We would ask you to allow yourselves to lighten up and to know that there is nothing that is wrong. There is nothing that is broken. There is nothing that is damaged, except for the places where you apply guilt and shame and condemnation and criticism and judgment to yourself or others. Oh, they did not keep this promise. Oh, they did not do this thing. Beloveds, it is all a reflection of self. So before you hasten to judge another, take a look within at the places where you judge yourselves and forgive broadly. Get that stuff everywhere. You go always with our blessings, beloveds. And if you have questions, call upon us and we will help to elucidate this for you further. Always with our light and our love. Until we speak again.